Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be taking a look at a figure from a company called The Loyal Subjects. Now, this isn't a company I'm too familiar with. I've seen them around for a while now. You can find their action figures in the electronics department of your Targets and your Walmarts and probably some places online. But they make figures based on a slew of licenses, and it's all part of the same line, which is this BST AXN line, which I think stands for Best Action. So a line of action figures. They have anything from Napoleon Dynamite to Gandalf from Lord of the Rings to Big Trouble in Little China to now Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I saw her in the store a few weeks ago and I'm like, wow, that is an awesome looking Buffy figure. I haven't had a Buffy figure in a while, and I've never done anything from Buffy on the channel, so I thought I'd pick her up and see what she was all about. So jumping right in and taking a look, you can see she's in a nice window box. On the top of the box, you have ages 8+, you have BST AXN, which I think again stands for Best Action, and you have BST Features, BST Articulation, BST Assortment, and you have the awesome Buffy Vampire Series logo there. Coming down, you have BST AXN again, Sarah Michelle Gellar, everyone's favorite Vampire Slayer, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and you can see the figure in there. You can see Buffy here. On this side of the box, you have nothing. On the other side of the box, you have Buffy the Vampire Slayer, another beautiful picture of Sarah Michelle Gellar. You have BST AXN, and then the rest of the gambit, feature, articulation, and assortment. On the bottom of the box, you have some words and barcodes and something that I'm sure someone's interested in, but I am not. And finally, on the back of the box, you have the nice Buffy the Vampire logo there, the BST AXN logo there, and you have a good read-up of Buffy. If we can move in there, focus in real nicely. You can pause the video, read that to your heart's content, but we must be moving on. Taking a look, you also have a nice render of Buffy and the way she should look as the figure, and you also have 31 points of articulation, multiple accessories, more credits for the box down here, incredible sculpt details, and a little bit of read up about the articulation, but we will look at that in just a minute. So that is the box, ladies and gentlemen. No one wants to see this lady in the box. I know I don't, so let's get her out and see what she can do. And here we have Buffy out of the box. And out of the box, she stands just over 5 inches tall, and she comes with a couple accessories to include her stake, a crossbow, her mystical scythe weapon, and 2 pairs of alternate hands. She has a closed-fisted pair of hands and a weapon-holding hands. Also comes with a neat little background. If we move Buffy out of the way, this little background has kind of all the cast from the first couple seasons hidden in there. You have Angel, Xander in the middle, Giles, you have Willow, Buffy, and Cordelia. You see Spike kind of sticking out there near the bottom, and there might be some others in there, but anyway, that is a cool little background. It does have some words on the side that says only one Slayer, which I'm sure Faith would disagree, and I think at the end of the series they turned everybody into Slayers. And you have a neat little purple Buffy the Vampire Slayer logo there. So that's a pretty neat little background. I like that, and I appreciate them giving us backgrounds so we could use in our reviews. So we'll put her back there. And also we get this little, I don't know, sticker, just a little piece of paper thing that they just add into the box. Anyway, so before we take a look at the accessories, let's take a look at Buffy herself. And coming real close in on Buffy's face, I'm not really sure if it resembles Sarah Michelle Gellar that much or not. I kind of look at different angles. But anyway, it's just kind of a generic face, but that's okay. I can see what they were going for. She has a nice head of blondish brown hair. I like that. Coming real close in on her face. You can see some nice eyebrows in there. Have some nice blue eyes, it looks like. And a nice nose, nice red lipstick. Has a little bit of rouge on her cheeks, so that's nice and rosy. Neck is got a little paint spot right there that's missing, and the neck appears to be a different color than the face, so that's interesting. Now, coming down, she has a black coat on and a black shirt underneath, red pants. So those are nice. Coming down, she has just flesh-toned hands, nothing odd about that, and she has some nice black boots. It's a very simple outfit, very nice. This coat is actually a single piece, and it can, if you want to take it off, you can do that because it just goes over the arms. So, but if you do that, she'll still have molded coat arms on, so that might look a little strange. So leave her with the coat, because she might get cold and all that other stuff. So nothing on the back that you wouldn't expect, just the same color motif. So yeah, so very simple, and that is it for what she looks like. And for articulation, now when it comes to articulation, I'm very impressed with this figure. I mean, it's a relatively small figure as it is when it comes to action figures. The head can go around 360 degrees if you were so inclined, but watch out for the jacket here. The hair likes to squeeze up under there, but anyway, you don't really need to move it 360 degrees unless she gets possessed, which I'm sure somewhere in the show she was possessed once or twice. Then you coming down to her shoulders. Shoulders can go around 360 degrees. They can come up and in, so that's pretty neat. She does have a bicep swivel all the way around 360 degrees. She has a double hinged elbow bend, so that is really neat. So you get a lot of good motion there. Coming down to her wrist goes all the way around 360 degrees, and this little bitty tiny hand is on a hinge, so it can be articulated up and down, left and right, and it just pops right back in there. So that's supposed to happen because we have alternate hands. Anyway, so coming down, she does have two chest articulations. She has a diaphragm rotation right here, and that will allow you to move the figure 360 degrees around from just upper area above the belly button. And then you have the waist articulation, which is right here, and that will allow you to move her around 360 degrees. So that is a lot of articulation for such a small figure. They needed to have like 2 points of articulation in the chest area. I don't know, but I'm not going to argue. I like the articulation. The more, the merrier. All right, that brings us down to her legs, and her legs can go up a little bit, and they can't go back much because her butt here gets in the way, so that's kind of sad. They can go out to the side a little bit, so you're not going to get really a lot of good motion with these legs, and if you do it too far, they'll pop off, so don't ask me how I know. Alright, she does have thigh rotation all the way around 360 degrees, and she has a double knee bend, so that is good. I like that. Coming down, she does have a boot articulation. It goes all the way around 360 degrees, and it is on a hinge, so if you push down on it, it can come down and you can reveal the hinge right there. So that is pretty neat for her articulation. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, for such a small figure, I am very surprised that she is so articulated. All right, moving on. And for her first set of alternate hands, she has these punching hands, and they are really, really small, but you get a lot of good detail in these hands, so that is pretty neat. Oh, I dropped one. But you can see it's like opens up into the fist, and that is cool. And for her next set of alternate hands, she has these nice weapon holding hands. They will just fit right on there, and they also are articulated. They can move up and down, and you could have her holding her weapons here. But let's take a look at those weapons. And for her first weapon accessory, she has a stake. And not just any stake, I'm going to say this might be the infamous Mr. Pointy. And it's really nicely done. It's got two-toned. You got a lighter brown and a darker brown, and it alternates to the very tip. So it looks very wood grainish. So I like that. And she can hold this really well, as you can see here. That's pretty cool. All right. And her next accessory will be this awesome crossbow. As you can see, it's done really, really nicely. Has a brown base to it, and you can see that there is an arrow in there ready to go. She also has one loaded to the right, one loaded to the left. So yeah, eat your heart out, Daryl Dixon. Got a little bit of gold, it looks like, for the braces here on the bottom, and she can hold this really well, so I like that. I like it a lot. So that is a cool accessory. And finally, for her last accessory, she comes with her Mystic Scythe weapon. And you may remember this. This is the weapon she got, I think, in the last episode. That old lady gave it to her right before Caleb snapped her neck. Or it may have been the second to last episode she got this, and then the last episode she actually got to use it. So it's really nice. You got a little bit of red here for the axe head, and you got some silver, some black, coming down to some more silver, and then you got some like a wood grain here, some more silver, and then coming down to like a spike, so you can spike with one, chop with the other. So that is a really nice and useful weapon for a slayer, and here she is holding that, so that is really cool. All right, and those are her accessories. Moving on. And for comparison, here you have Buffy with a few other female figures from various lines. You have Firestar / Nova Star from the Transformers. You have Cara Dune from Star Wars The Black Series. You have the Batgirl from the Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You have Wonder Woman from JLA 2000. And you have Jubilee from the Marvel Legends. Now, as you can see, I think the only figure that is comparable to the Buffy is the JLA Wonder Woman. It's just because she's a smaller build, and I think that's the problem. Not that Buffy is small or that they're trying to make her a teenager. I think she was just built to a smaller scale, and you're not going to find a lot of action figures that are comparable to that scale. Now, you can buy a whole bunch of BST AXN figures, and that will give her someone to fight and play around with. But as far as other action figures, I think you're going to have to go back a little bit to find a smaller developed action figure. So anyway, that is a few comparisons with Buffy. Moving on. And this has been the Loyal Subjects BST AXN Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I was very impressed with this little figure. Now, like I said at the beginning, I've never really heard of the Loyal Subjects or messed with any of their figures, but this was a very good first impression. I really loved the articulation on this figure. I was very surprised at how articulated it is with the double bended elbows and knees and the wrist and the double points of articulation in the chest with the diaphragm and then the waist. I thought they put a lot of work into that. I didn't think the face was exactly Sarah Michelle Gellar, but I can see what they were going for. It's kind of a generic blonde, but that's okay. They may not have access to like the photoreal technology that some bigger companies have. I thought the paint was good. I liked the accessories. They were clever and smart. You had the stake, the crossbow, and her scythe weapon, so that was just cool. They did cram a lot of stuff in with this little bitty figure. Now, the size may bother some people. Like I said in the comparison, the size is kind of a niche little scale that not a lot of figures will kind of go with, but I'm sure you can find enough in the line, the BST AXN Loyal Subjects line, to, give her somebody to play with and fight with. So if you're looking for her, you can find her in the electronics department of Targets and Walmarts, and she retails for approximately $16 to $18 depending on where you can get her. So anyway, that's the review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, keep playing.